Hey all, Tina here. Welcome to Beautiful Journey. As you can see from my decorations, today I am going to be doing a Mardi Gras look, and the really exciting part about this is that I am doing a collaboration with my good friends Leanna Dalton and Andi of Andi Does Stuff. I cannot wait to see the looks that they come up with. We have complete freedom to use any palette in our inventory, but we're going to be using the colors of green, purple, and gold in honor of the Mardi Gras colors. I will definitely have links to their channels and their videos down below, and I highly encourage you to go over and check them out if you haven't, or even if you have, make sure you see this video. And if you aren't subscribed to them, please do so. They are amazing women, incredibly creative. They do some really great eye looks and lots of other fun stuff too. And I just feel really blessed that I've gotten to know them. They have become dear, dear friends. I have met so many incredible people on this YouTube journey, and Leanna and Andi are two of the best. I have all of my base products on, and I will link everything that's on my face in the description box below. When I planned my decorations, I didn't take into account the height of these little guys. So when I pull you in, you're not going to be able to see them anymore, but I wanted to start out here so you could see how cute they were. So let me pull you in, readjust the camera, and get closer so you can see what I'm doing on my eyes. I will be using two palettes today. The first one is the Interstellar palette from Prism Makeup. This is a dupe for Urban Decay's Born to Run. There are quite a few dupes out there for this palette, so if you don't have this one or the Urban Decay, maybe you have one of the others. But I want to encourage you not to feel like you have to have the palettes that I used in order to create this look. I will give more specifics about the colors so that you can shop your own stash and see if you can find the colors in other palettes that you already own. The other palette that I'm going to be using is the BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles, and I know that BH Cosmetics has filed bankruptcy, but they do still have products available on their website. They are still shipping products, and I know that right now TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and probably Ross, maybe Burlington, have a lot of BH products, so you might be able to find them there as well. If you've watched one or more of my eye look videos, you probably know what I'm going to do first. Since neither one of these palettes has a light ivory color in it, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Brulee and just tap out a little. Make sure I don't have any creasing of my eyeshadow base. I did use the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer, by the way. And then I'm just going to tap that on to set my eyeshadow from crease to brow bone. This step helps to prevent creasing and also helps with blending when I get to that point. I almost forgot, I want to use eye tape in order to keep this line crisp on the edge, and I'm going to use the e.l.f. eye tape. I take one of these, cut it in half, and then I use 1/2 of them for each eye. I'm going to come in close here, go underneath those lower lashes, and then I'm going to set that on an upward line, following the line of my eye as it starts to turn up. I just continue that line out. I'm going to be using some darker shades, and that will keep them from getting down into my makeup that I've already got on. Now, even though you're not going to see much of this color by the time I get everything else on, I'm going to go into this, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to blind you. I'm going to go into this kind of peachy color right here. In my palette, it's called Venus, but you can look in any palette that you have and look for just a peachy kind of color. And I'm just going to put this above the crease and to the point where my brow bone starts. You can kind of feel that bone there. And like I said, most of this you're not going to be able to see, but it is just providing the base for the shadow. Next, I'm going to start putting in some purple, and I'm going to go into this purple right here. Yes, it is a purple shimmer, and yes, I'm putting it in my crease. People will say you can't put shimmers in your crease. Well, you can if you want. As Andi likes to say, they're not the boss of me. So I'm just going to dab that in, putting the product where I want it without really doing any blending yet. This is a deeper purple, and I'm using this for some depth in the crease, and later I'm going to go in with a brighter purple to liven it up. But when you blend a shimmer, A lot of times you blend a lot of the shimmer away and you're left with just the pigment. And that's kind of what happens with this one. And you can see here how this tape out here is collecting that overflow of the shadow, and I don't have to worry then about cleaning up a mess when I'm done. Alright, so now before I go further with the purple, I want to put in some green, and I'm going to go in right here with this green and put that in the outer half of my lid. I'm going to try it dry, and if I'm not happy with that, then I'll wet it with some setting spray. It's a deep, deep green, and it is so pretty. And I'm just putting it where I want it right now, and then I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush and blend just a little. Now I want a bit of a brighter green, and the Interstellar palette doesn't have one, so that's when I'm going to go into this Lost in Los Angeles palette, and I'm going to go into this kind of goldish green right here. But this time I'm going to put it on my finger. It's very pretty. It's a lighter gold green shift. And I'm just going to dab that right into the inner corner and meet up with that darker green in the center of the lid. And to add the third color, I'm going into this gold right here, and I'm just going to put that right in the center to brighten it up. Right where those two colors meet, to really add some pop to the center of the lid. Now, you can't see the green very well. I kind of covered up the purple, so we're going to go in and we're going to add some brightness. And this palette has the most beautiful purple right here, and I'm going to put some more of that purple on and really deepen up that purple. I'm going to use a pencil brush because I want to get right in the crease with that. Oh, yeah, that's what I want right there. But it was important for this shadow to show up as well as it is, to have that base of deeper purple underneath. And now you can see that there isn't much of that initial peach color left, but it helps with that gradient of transitioning out of that color into your skin. Mardi Gras is the day before Ash Wednesday, and Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of the Christian Lenten season. It begins 40 days before Easter, and it represents the time that Jesus spent in the wilderness fasting prior to his arrest and crucifixion, ultimately culminating in the resurrection on Easter. Now I want that to blend a little bit better, so I'm going to take the initial brush with that peach on it, but I'm not putting anything on the brush. I'm just kind of going in and blending that edge. And that's actually a little darker now that I want it to be up here, so I'm going to take that white in the palette here, and I'm just going to use that to lighten up this area above the purple shadow. Alright, so we're coming together here, but I really think I want some more green on that outer corner. So I am going to take that flat shader brush. I'm going to put some green on there. And I'm going to wet it with my setting spray. Yes, better. In the United States, the most common Mardi Gras celebrations happen in New Orleans, but there are also big Mardi Gras celebrations in St. Louis. And there is actually Mardi Gras season. It begins January 6th, which is Epiphany. It runs through Ash Wednesday, but the big party happens on the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. It's kind of the last chance to celebrate before a time of austerity and restriction. Now I'm going to take a tiny little brush and I'm going to go back into that gold and put that right in the inner corner. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but if I don't, I have another idea. And I went and I grabbed just a little bit more of that lighter green as well. Okay, that's almost there. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the highlighter that I use, and this is the e.l.f. highlighter in white gold. And I'm going to take some on that tiny little brush and just really brighten up the inner corner. Yes, and put this white gold underneath my eyebrow. All right, I'm going to take off the tape. And you can see I have this really nice line. Now, the tape did take off a little bit of the makeup there. Easy to fix. Take your sponge that has your foundation on it and just press along there until you blend the edges. No big deal. Okay. Now we're going to work on the under eye, and I'm going to mimic on the lower lash line what I did on the lid. So I'm first going to take the deep green on my pencil brush, and I'm going to tap off all the extra because I do not want any fallout from this. And I'm going to start out here and pull under the lash line, just connecting these dark corners on the edge so it's not kind of hanging out there all by itself. And I'm also using that pencil brush to soften that edge where the tape was, because I don't want it to drag down, but I also don't want it to be a harsh line. Okay, then I'm going to go into Lost in Los Angeles, into that Melrose purple, and that is going to go in the center of this lower lash line. And finally, I'm going to go into the gold Starstruck and put that in the inner third of the lower lash line. So everything that happened up above is also happening down below. I'm going to go off camera to do my liner and lashes and all that sort of thing, but I did want to point out that I'm going to use the Maybelline Light Liner in Starlight Gold on the inner waterline, and I like doing a brighter color on the inner waterline because I think it just kind of helps open up my eyes. So I will be back after I have my liner and lashes on, and we'll chat a little bit about the makeup. I'm back! Did you miss me? While I was gone, I used the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Eyeliner in the waterline. I used just a single coat of the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara on top and bottom lashes. I have very blonde eyelashes, so if I do not put mascara on before I put on false lashes, then you will see my blonde lashes standing out in front of those false, and it just looks really silly. And I like to put the mascara on before the lashes because then you don't get the lashes full of mascara and they're less work to clean up so that you can use them again next time. For the lashes, I used a set of these wispies that I got at Five Below, and I love these lashes. They're so pretty and full and just really dramatic. Aren't they pretty? On my lips, I used the Essence 8-Hour Lip Liner in Mood. I have 3 of these in different colors, and I love them. They are so creamy, they stay on really well, and they are incredibly affordable. Really, really nice lip liners. Then I used the Flower Beauty Cream Lipstick in Spiced Petal. This is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and I can't compare them because I don't have the Charlotte Tilbury, but there's a lot of people on YouTube who have done the comparison, and this is a dupe, so I have that on my lips. And then on top of that, just in the center for a little shine, I have the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in Champagne Glow. Put my little friends back on. Mascara, lashes, and liner always complete a look, but sometimes the lashes can kind of hide the look. So I'm going to close my eyes and come in close so you can see the completed look. And that's my Mardi Gras look using green, gold, and purple. Before you leave and head off to do something else, make sure that you go down and tap that like button and then hit that show more to open the description box so that you can see the links to Leanna Dalton and Andi Does Stuff. And make sure you go over and check out their looks and tell them Tina sent you. Thanks for spending time with me today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.